between the complaint and the breakthrough. Let me tell you something about Ramiro Solís, 47 years old, hands of a laborer that now cultivate in pots. Every morning he climbs to the rooftop with his watering can, his notebook, and a seed he keeps in his pocket like a secret. As he places the pot, he feels internally, "This is my moment of alignment, of choosing my perspective from my inner being." One evening, a neighbor left him a note with a phrase that stuck to his chest. Ramiro read it softly. "It's not about the years. It's not about age. It's not about youth. It's about the deterioration. And deterioration has to do with alignment, or lack thereof. Deterioration has to do with, in this moment, where am I diverging? In this moment, where am I diverging? In this moment, where am I diverging?" That's what it's all about. While he reads, he feels his inner being whisper to him, "Every moment is your divergence. Every choice is a step toward your highest vibration." Sometimes Ramiro remembers the noise of the factory where he worked for 2 decades. The hands that tighten nuts now look for soil, but the memory of broken stability brings its doubts. Is it too late to start anew? He stops and breathes. It is not late. My inner being is always available to guide me, and I can take that divergence toward the choice that elevates me. One day, seeing a dry pot, he felt the old tug, to complain, to blame, to surrender. Another voice, softer, asked him, "Do you go for the complaint, or do you water?" Ramiro took a deep breath and, as he planted the seed, he murmured, "Just as I water this pot, I am watering my alignment, choosing the perspective of my inner being." He left the complaint aside. The physical action was small, but the vibrational change was profound. Something more subtle happened, a relief in his chest, a lightness in his shoulders. Watering a seed reminded him that alignment is practiced moment by moment with small, conscious acts. He felt his inner being smile in silence, confirming the vibrational choice he had just made. A neighbor left her nephew, Mateo, in charge for a while, and the boy asked, "Why are you giving a drink to a seed?" Ramiro smiled and told him, "Because I choose for it to grow." While he taught, he perceived that his inner being shared his joy. The vibration of the choice multiplied, both in him and in the child. Little by little, Ramiro put together a gathering on the rooftop. A handmade sign read, "Piloting to Success." It wasn't a fancy course. It was a circle of hands planting and conversing about daily choices. While he guided, Ramiro felt internally, "Every gesture I share from my inner being sows vibration in others." A day of heat came, and a pot withered. The old voice of complaint attacked strongly. Ramiro felt the tug, to blame the sun, the neighborhood, the weather. But he asked himself aloud, "Where do I diverge now?" He decided to trim leaves, provide shade, and adjust the routine. His inner being accompanied him in silence, reminding him that every conscious choice strengthens his vibration. Weeks later, from an almost forgotten pot, a yellow sprout was born. It wasn't big, but it shone with victory. Ramiro laughed as if he had won something enormous. He had chosen to nourish instead of consume complaint. He felt internally, "My inner being confirms. Every divergence toward the correct choice flourishes in its time." Ramiro put the original seed back in his pocket. He looked at the horizon and said, with the calm of someone who learned something simple and powerful, "It is not age that decides the decline. It is the practice of choosing downward or upward." Then he asks you, just as he repeats to himself every morning, "The divergence is not between plants. It is between the voice of complaint and the voice of your inner being. Where do you diverge today?"